Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bitter Rivals podcast, powered by The Game Entertainment and Media. This is episode 49. We got a big one coming up next week, a little bit of a milestone for the boys.
Big 50 coming up, man.
Yeah, and the two things. We'll start it off by saying the Leafs are reeling just a little bit, but that happens to teams throughout the year. And the Habs are on a heater. The Habs have been playing, honestly, so I've been the first one to rag on them all year for being terrible. I have been. I have enjoyed it thoroughly. But they've been really good since Marty St. Louis took over. I cannot deny that.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a great turnaround to see. And it's as a Habs fan, it's been a great thing to see the Leafs fall off a little bit, you know.
Oh, we're still a top 5 team in the National Hockey League, but yes, to see the goals, I'm sure it's a bit. Like, Jack Campbell's allowed 5 goals in 7 of his last 14 games.
That's not good.
That's not good. You're not going to win many hockey games when you're letting 5 goals in 50% of the time, right?
Yeah.
That's just not how you go. I think the Leafs, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the status since January 9th, the Leafs have the worst save percentage in the National Hockey League. Mind you, there's last night's game, Jack could have made a couple of those saves, absolutely, but there's been some really strange bounces going against the Leafs lately. It's just been one of those stretches where it seems like no matter what you do, no matter what happens, it's just not going to go your way.
Puck luck is gone or what?
Pardon?
Puck luck is just gone out the window?
Yeah, it's gone the other way. It's like it was right at the beginning of the year. It happened to us, and then we went on a heater for a couple months. But before it happened through the first, I want to say six to 10 games.
Yeah, it was the same. Weren't there like jerseys thrown on the ice in the first 10 games of the season?
But it was just puck luck. It was just bounces going the wrong way, deflections going in. Like, that's what last night's game was Vancouver getting not lucky. You're still putting pucks on net. You're still getting traffic in front of the net.
Creating their own luck. Yeah.
You're creating your own luck. But yeah, it was when you're not getting the bounces, it's tough to see. And you hope, and what I'm hoping anyway, is that they're just getting this out of the way before the playoffs start. You know what I mean? Like, get it all out now. Get all the sillies out now. You know what I mean? Like, get it out. Get all this shit out. And then come April, bear down. No more bounces as excuses. Goaltending has to tighten up. And yeah, that's where the Leafs are at right now. I think Jack Campbell, these fans have turned on him really quickly. And I understand why. It's because, like we've talked about many times on this show before, he doesn't have a resume, right? Like, he doesn't have a resume as a starting goaltender. He's always been a backup. That's what he's always been. He's shown flashes of brilliance. The end of last year and the beginning of this year were Vezina caliber, right? But this is, and that's why fans are turning on him, is because they're looking back and they're going, no, he's just what he is. He's a backup.
Yeah, it's not like when Carey Price struggles, where you can look back and say he has a history of being successful. This is
such a small body of work, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the Leafs are at right now. Austin Matthews is still put up 2 goals again last night. The guy,
that's what, 37?
39?
Oh,
39. 39.
So
and the Leafs on ahead.
That's my bad.
Yeah, he had 37 before the game, exactly. But just watching the game last night, he really, when I say MVP, I mean it. And there's 2 guys in the league that do that just take over games, and they look like a totally different animal. We've said it a million times before, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews are just 2 of the most special hockey players I've ever seen. Matthews last night was just a joy to watch him just change directions and get everybody going the wrong way. At one point, he had a guy, he switched directions so fast that Buddy's stick just flew out of his hands. He didn't get it slashed. He just changed and went that way, and the stick was gone. Just little things like that. The little saucer passes, the little 6-foot saucer passes over sticks. He's just so special. He's so special.
I hate the Leafs, and I hate saying stuff positive about the Leafs, but fuck, he's so good.
Yeah, it's spectacular to watch. Spectacular to watch.
If he didn't play for the Leafs, he'd be one of my favorite players in the league. 100%. Yeah. If he didn't play for the Leafs, Bruins, and maybe the Senators, he'd be. I'd love him.
And the mantra and the aura that he carries around him, he exudes confidence on and off the ice. He's exactly who you want on your team, man.
here's the best thing I can say about Austin Matthews is that as a Habs fan, when he gets the puck in our offensive zone when we play against you guys, everything just tightens up and you just go, fuck, he's going to do something. Like
every time he touches the puck.
It's the
every
worst.
time he touches the puck. Yeah.
Because
it's terrifying.
He could be on the blue line, he could be behind the net, he could be in the corner, he could be like on the fucking half wall, and you're sitting there every time he touches the puck, you go, shit, he's gonna do it.
Well, the goals he scored last night, one was a clap bomb from like nearly the blue line. He did the Ovechkin where they were covering him like pigs in shit. So he whoops out to the red line and just comes in, crosses the blue line with his stick above his head, and claps one top cheddar on Thatcher Demko. Like, just beautiful. And the different ways that he can score, too. Like, that's why I say he's the best goal scorer in the league, because he's nowhere near a one-dimensional player. He can dangle you. He can shoot through you. He can make the pass. He can clap one top cheddar. Like, he's so dynamic.
And just until Ovechkin isn't playing in the league, I can't say he's the most dynamic scorer in the league. Because until Ovi retires,
all of Ovechkin's goals are scored from the same spot. And now, I'm talking now. Earlier in Ovechkin's career, you're right. He was scoring from everywhere. But Alex Ovechkin parks himself in the left, top of the left circle,
and is still fucking scoring like on a 40-goal pace.
Yeah, no, I understand that. He's got 34 phenomenal. And 55. He's almost a 50-goal pace here. Like, guy's crazy. But I gotta give that one to Austin Matthews. Anyways, you have some positive stuff to talk about finally in Montreal, so I'll let you go off.
My God, Abe, the Habs are rolling. So 7 wins in our last 8. We had 8 before Ducharme got fired. Okay.
Yeah.
So like rolling. We started off on just a wild game in Winnipeg. We lost 8-4. We were down 4-0 10 minutes into the game. Came back and tied it up. Josh Anderson got his first career hat trick. And then I don't know what the fuck the refs were told before that game, but like, when we bitch about like when the refs call nothing, they called everything. And Winnipeg has a very, very good power play, and they fucking lit us up. So they got the 4 extra there. Not great, but in a game with Ducharme that would have been 8-0. We had some fight back. We tried, and it be what it be.
Don't win them all. Trust me, I'm a Leaf fan. I know.
Exactly. And then we went to Calgary, and I was scared of this game because Calgary's fucking good.
They've been on a heater, and we'll talk more about them later.
Yeah, we'll circle back to them. But going into the game, they'd won 11 in a row at home. They're so good, and they're winning.
They've been outrageously good.
Like,
they've been
outrageous. Like, do you want to stop and talk about them quick?
Yeah, we'll just like Markstrom's been on a heater. Johnny Gaudreau's playing MVP level hockey.
Yeah, like
their defense is so rugged and hard to get through.
Like, I was sitting there watching them play, and like I can see a deep run coming for them.
Oh, good Lord. I was just thinking the same thing.
Like my thoughts watching that game was like, how lit would it be 04 Cup final rematch Flames Lightning?
Man, that's a team that, especially in that Western Conference, which I think we can agree is wide open.
Oh yeah.
Like wide open. Come playoff time, I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen in the weather. Like, the East is almost settled. If you look at it, you can see who's going to the playoffs and who isn't. Yeah. The West, not even close. Not even close. And Calgary is going to make some noise come playoff time.
Yeah, like I can genuinely see them being, a cup finalist. And it's not a stretch. I fully believe
out of that West, who else can you see going to the cup final? So to me, out of the West, I have Vegas if they even get in, because they might not even get in.
No, exactly. Honestly, to me, it's Colorado and Calgary are the clear 1 and 2.
Colorado, Calgary, the ones who are like, those are 2, like, I would say favorites out of the West.
Yeah.
But then I can also see a team like Minnesota making some noise. Minnesota's been good.
The Kings have turned it up recently too.
The Kings,
they've been good.
The Predators can go on a heater.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like there's in the East, it isn't like this. In the East, we know exactly what's going on. We know who's going in, who's not. Like, but the West is just so wide open. And with like 20 odd games to play. Like, so much can change here so quickly. But I think Calgary and Colorado will be probably conference finalists if
I would think, and that would be a great series to watch, wouldn't it?
oh my god. Well, did you see their game last night?
No, I did not.
Oh, barn burner.
It went to overtime, did it not?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I had it. I was watching the UFC fights. I had it on the second screen though, so I was kind of half watching it.
Yeah, no, fucking barn burner of a game. Yeah, but anyways, so the Habs rolled into Calgary. Ben Sherratt scored 2 goals, including the OT winner to get the big dub. Nick Suzuki, phenomenal game there as well. And then last night in Edmonton, the Nick Suzuki show. He's not to the level of McDavid and Matthews where we talk about guys like grabbing games by the collar and fucking dragging them, but he's getting there. Because that was a game last night.
Hold your horses.
Where Nick Suzuki he wanted that game and he just took it over, and he did everything that game. He was phenomenal. Goal and 2 assists, Caulfield goal and an assist. And I like I said, he's not at that level yet where he's doing it consistently, but he's starting to get there where he's, taking over games against a very good Edmonton team. And like I said, he just took it over. Caulfield now in 11 games under Marty St. Louis, 14 points for 22 points on the season, and he's now 9th in rookie scoring.
Late Calder push for that kid, eh?
Like late Calder push. I think he's still on pace for 30 under Marty St. Louis. He's obviously not going to continue scoring at this pace. I mean, he might, but probably won't.
Yeah, that would be just outrageous.
I would not be against it happening, but I don't see it. Don't see it happening. But yeah, like just a really, really good week in Montreal, other than Andrew Hammond getting hurt, because of course he got hurt. Fucking goalie injuries have just been awful for us. And then Jake Evans got hurt in the game last night against Edmonton too. So,
injuries stacking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting week in the hockey world, to say the least. Did you catch that Ottawa Arizona game yesterday?
I did. I caught a little bit of it.
I caught the third period.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Nick Schmaltz sets a season high in-game, like one game point total with 7, 2 goals and 5 assists.
I think first Nick 7-point game since Sam Gagner in 2012, I think.
I believe you are correct.
So with 7 points there, I got to go fill in the blank here. What is the best individual performance you've ever seen by a player is blank?
Austin Matthews' first game in the NHL. Has to be. 4 goals against the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, hard to argue that one.
Yeah. Has to be.
I got to go with it's actually two players, the 2 individual performances, but Crosby, Ovechkin, the matching hat tricks in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible.
Like that was just like we talk about guys fucking dragging a game around. Like that was Crosby and Ovechkin fucking playing a tug of war with each other that game.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Yeah, no, for sure. But and just the rivalry with those two, and just they bring the best out of each other, right? They really do.
Yeah, and I mean that was just the peak of it. It was so good.
Yeah, what we want Matthews and McDavid to be so bad.
Honestly.
Yeah.
If McDavid had a better team around him, yeah.
Yep, then it would be like that, yeah. I could agree with that.
Anyway. Kind of keeping in the same ballpark. This is more to a player than like an individual performance, but the biggest surprise of the season so far is blank.
I don't know if I'm surprised, but I think a lot of people are. Well, Michael Bunting.
Yeah.
And the success that he's having. I said having. That wasn't. But yeah, no. That was. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you talked about him at the beginning of the year doing this as like a joke. Like he was kind of like in a joking tone, and now he's got like what 19 goals. He hasn't got 20 yet.
I think he's at 19. I
Yeah.
believe you. Yeah, I believe you're correct there. But yeah, he's I don't even, I think we talked about him at length last week.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's, top in the rookie scoring race, all of those things. So yeah, that's a big surprise. Another one that I'm not surprised, because he was on a heater last year. Another good one here, Jason Robertson.
Oh yeah.
Like, where did this guy come from?
Well, because I think last year you kind of look at it as like, is it a one season wonder kind of thing? Because we've seen those guys come and go a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone really paid attention to it. It was more of a let's see what he does next season, and now he's doing this. I think you've got his stats up, eh?
The Jason Robertson stats?
Yes.
I don't, but I can get them real quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of Robertsons,
yeah.
Jason Robertson's brother, Nick Robertson, scored his first career regular season goal last year. He scored in the playoffs for us last night. Yeah. Which it was a beauty too. William Nylander, what a play. So Jason Robertson this year in 46 games. So that's not even, I think they've played like 54.
Yeah, they should be in the 50s, yeah.
And he's got 26 and 25 for 51. And nobody even knows who he is.
No.
Like, that's the amazing part here. Go ahead.
I was saying he's a star in the making from everything I've seen this year. Like, he's just so good.
Well, even last year, 51 games, 17 goals, 28 assists for 45 points.
Yeah.
So this guy is he's a 97, he's almost a point per game guy in the National Hockey League. He's got 97 points in 100 games.
That's ridiculous.
And nobody's talking about him.
He's so good.
Yeah, I know. That's why I picked him in fantasy last year.
I know.
And now I have him on my team, and I'm very happy I have him on my team.
I know. I hear about it all the time.
Keeping it on track with my fantasy team, Elias Lindholm.
Oh my! Like, we were just talking about the Flames.
We were just talking about the Flames. We didn't even mention.
He's got goals in like 16. It's something stupid. It's like 15 or 16 straight games now.
Does he actually? I haven't.
Okay, it might not be 15 or 16. It might be like 10 or 11.
Yeah, he's been on an absolute heater.
And not just that, but he's scoring. I think he's got 4 game-winning goals in that span too.
Yeah, that's just outrageous.
And again, we were talking about him. Sorry, you were saying? So
yeah, looks like he must have broke that streak, but he's got 4 in his last 3.
Yeah,
one against Montreal, 1 against Minnesota. He's got, and then the game that he broke the streak, he had 2 assists.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and this is a guy who was picked back in 2013 and is coming on like crazy in the year 2022.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. He's over a point per game this year. He's a plus 42 on the season. He's got 27 goals and 30 assists for 57 points. I know plus minus isn't the greatest stat ever, but man,
it's a pretty okay judge of a player.
I know it's not end all be all. I understand that, but that is outrageous. Yeah.
That means he is doing a lot more good things than bad things on the ice.
Well, and you have to play like that if you're playing under Daryl Sutter. You're not going to you get no minutes if you're not playing.
We're going to circle back to the Flames here. We're circling back to the Flames here. He's got to be up there for fucking Jack Adams.
Sutter? Oh God.
Has to be.
He's
one of the best coaches in the league.
Yes.
Yeah,
no, and he has been. He's a Stanley Cup winner. He, maybe if you don't like old school, sucks to suck. Because it's working over in Calgary.
The thing is, it's not entirely old school. It's like a new old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
he's not just, the angry old man screaming at his players. He's got them playing fucking phenomenal hockey.
Well, and who would have guessed that Johnny Gaudreau was going to excel under Daryl Sutter?
Nobody saw that coming.
Nobody saw that coming. This guy's going to become an MVP candidate, start playing unbelievable defense, playing great puck in his own end. What?
Well,
this is a guy who's what is he, 5'2"?
after the Habs game, because he scored a fucking ridiculous goal against us,
Yeah.
Daryl Sutter got asked about it. And he goes, he had too many turnovers, didn't play well. And they're like, oh, well, but like he had a goal and an assist. And he goes, too many turnovers, didn't play well. Like that's where the bar is set. Whereas it doesn't matter what you do at offensively. If your whole game isn't good, then he's gonna fucking roast you for it, and you're gonna hear about it, and you have to have a fucking 200. Everyone on that roster has to have a 200-foot game. Best coach,
and that's why they're on such a heater. That's why they're first in their division, and yeah, that's that. Anyway, this isn't a Flames podcast, but
no. I mean, like the way they're playing though, like it's hard not to fucking talk about them.
That's what I mean. Like, you got to at least give them the credit that they deserve. Like, geez, man, such a good hockey team, and like you said, would be an absolute nightmare meeting them in the playoffs this year because their style is like suited for the playoffs.
Oh
like,
yeah, and that's the thing.
Their defensive 200-foot game, that's how they play, right? Like the Leafs, why? And it's not the only reason we've come up short, but a big reason we've come up short is our game is a skill. When we're playing like we're an all-star team, that's when we're at our best. Yeah. Calgary's at their best when they are playing 200-foot defensive hockey, right? And that's a scary thing come playoff time.
Well, yeah, because it's like when their offense doesn't work, they can still grind out results, and that's just a huge thing for them.
Well, and it sounds cliche, but defense leads to offense.
Honestly. Right? But like in that 11-game home winning streak there were some blowout games where they fucking destroyed teams. And there were some games where they squeaked out a 1-0 win. Because that's what Daryl Sutter teams do. Is they just win. They just win.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with his resume in the playoffs too. I would be terrified. Man. Anyway.
Like low-key, he would be a great coach for the Leafs.
Sutter?
Oh my god!
I don't think he'd ever do it.
No, but like, he would turn the Leafs around.
Nothing against Keefe. It's not that I don't like Keefe, but I see what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, like you want to get a guy who can take like high-end offensive guys and build a team that can play defense around them. Like, and we've talked about Austin Matthews already having that 200-foot game, Mitch Marner having that 200-foot game. Like, that to me is a match made in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying for sure. Another thing about last night's game, John Tavares finally snapped like a 12-game goalless drought, so that was nice to see. Finally, power play goal, dish from Mitchie Marner. You know how it is.
Yep.
But man, I hate seeing us lose games like that against teams that we should just beat. The game against Buffalo too, man, just not a game you want to lose. In that game, there was we just played terrible. Like last night, we didn't get the bounces, but that Buffalo game was
so you guys got kind of slapped around by Buffalo a little bit.
Oh, it was terrible, and like nobody was engaged. It was terrible, awful. Mrazek's getting hung out to dry, and people are going after him. Guys, he's played that was his first time playing back-to-back games all year. What do you want out of this guy when he's getting hung out to dry by the defense? Literally, there are 16 guys in front of him who just aren't playing hockey. Or what is it? 18 guys? Yeah, I guess it's 18.
Yeah.
Man. Brutal. And it's unacceptable. And I hope they're just getting that out of the way so that they can actually play at the friggin' outdoor game against Buffalo and Hamilton.
Yeah, so if they don't show up for that one, then that's a fuck.
Oh, man. I don't know. The fans can't really reach the ice there with jerseys, so.
I mean, if you had a good arm, maybe.
Yeah, you'd have to put a brick in the jersey. Anyway.
I get one more fill in the blank for you, because we were talking about some Hart candidates. Your top 5 Hart candidates, in no particular order, and we'll call it some particular order, are blank.
Okay, so I think we all know that my Hart winner this year is Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
I think number 2, just based on the sheer amount of games he's stolen for them, Igor Shesterkin has to be considered. Number 3, just because he's still tied for the league, he's having a down year, and he's still tied for the league in points, Connor McDavid. Yeah. Number 4, I think I'm going to go Johnny Gaudreau, because he has just been phenomenal. Phenomenal. We've already talked about that. And then number 5, the other guy tied for the league lead in points. I gotta go Draisaitl.
Yeah, that's yeah. I think our lists are pretty close. So I've got Matthews at 1, I've got McDavid at 2, and then for 3, 4, and 5, I couldn't really put them in a specific order. You could put these 3 in kind of any order, and I think it's fine. And I agree with the Draisaitl and Shesterkin shouts. I think Shesterkin's had a fucking phenomenal year. Carried the Rangers at some points. Draisaitl's Draisaitl. He's fucking great. But at 5, I got Jonathan Huberdeau.
Yeah, and see,
phenomenal year for him.
Phenomenal year for him, but the reason I can't put him anywhere near that top 5, maybe not even a top 10 guy, is because he absolutely plays zero defense. Like, so no defense.
18 goals, 58 assists for 76 points in 55 games. Florida is, I believe, top of their division. Yeah, they are. I think when a team is playing that well, and the way the Panthers are built, you don't need him playing a 200-foot game. Because if Jonathan Huberdeau just goes out and plays like Jonathan Huberdeau, and he's putting up fucking more than a point a game, and you're winning games, like, that shouldn't influence an MVP. And if we're talking who's the best player, best player in the league, best overall, like, then I would see your point. But when you're talking straight up like MVP, you can't look past him.
I hate to be that guy, but he's not even the MVP of his team.
Barkov
is the MVP of his team.
What's Barkov's points looking like?
Barkov in 42 has 52.
Oh shit.
And he's got 25 goals, 27 assists.
Oh fuck, Florida's so nasty.
Yeah, they're I'm not looking forward to April at all, because we're playing one of Tampa or Florida in the first round. Guaranteed almost. Yeah.
That's going to be tasty.
That's going to be tough. Leafs are in. The Leafs are in for it, let me tell you. Much rather be a Western Conference team this year.
Habs are the Western Conference champions last year, so
that's outrageous. That's just
outrageous. Like one of my favorite things from last year is that we were the Western Conference champions.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, that's why and there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of discourse on Twitter, hockey Twitter, over the past week because of this Huberdeau conversation and putting him in the Hart race and people's opinions. That's like, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched many Florida games this year.
But I can't say I've watched too many.
From what I understand, this guy, as soon as he crosses the red line, it's almost like the other team is on a 5-on-4. Like, that's how useless he is in his own zone. I don't know. I'm not watching it specifically. This is just what I read and understand.
So, but, I mean, the way I look at it is, you remember, like, and I'm not directly comparing them, but remember, like, Ovi's first few years? Where everyone gets shredded him for his fucking, because he like didn't play any defense, but he still scored like 60 goals a year in those first couple of years. Like, if you're putting up the numbers and the team is getting success, does it really matter?
Yeah, but I think Huberdeau's success is mostly to do with the team that's around him. Like, Duclair's on a heater, Reinhardt's on a heater, Barkov's on a heater. That's their power play right there. No wonder he's got 58 assists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but like, that's what I mean. Like, but like, whatever they're doing, him not playing defense is still working. Now, if they weren't getting results, 100%, then that's an issue, and he wouldn't be in this conversation. But he's, more than a point a game. Fucking, they're top of their the division. Like, how can you complain, really?
Well, if you're going to put him there, then I could make an argument for Mitch Marner.
And you
21 goals, 37 assists, 58 points in 46 games. and he plays 200 feet.
Yeah, no, and you definitely could. I assume Mitch Marner would probably be in a top 10 Hart.
Yes,
I would. Let me pull up the odds here. Oh, he's actually. He's not top 10. He's at a plus 700, about the same, or sorry, plus 7,000, same as UC Saros, Sidney Crosby, Pasternak, Aho, Marchand, and Panarin. So I mean, he's not maybe in the top 10, but he's in the discussion. Jack Campbell still has better Hart odds than him right now.
Yeah, so we're talking right now. Now let's project to the end of the season. What do you think we're going to be looking at? Do you think we're going to be like, who are we looking at for our three finalists at the end of the season? Like, how do you see this playing out? I'm not talking to this point, end of the season.
So realistically, we're looking at one finalist because we know Matthews and McDavid are going to be there. They're
Yes.
You know, even if knock on wood doesn't happen, but Connor McDavid or Austin Matthews snaps their leg tonight, like they're still going to be in the Hart race for the end of the season. So it's really one spot, and I think both of us, put forward three other guys who could rightfully be in there, and there's still some guys that we didn't mention. Nathan McKinnon, Nazem Kadri's had a fucking heater of a year,
unbelievable year.
Like just Kirill Kaprizov's fucking lighting it up in fucking Minnesota. Like there's so many guys. I think if I had to bet on the third guy, I would probably put my money on Draisaitl.
Who do I think it should be? I think it should be Shesterkin, and it depends how he plays the rest of the year. But I think you're on to something there. I just don't think he's going to get that kind of love from the voters. I just don't.
No. But goalies just, it's so hard for them to win the Hart.
Yeah.
Because a string, like we were just talking about Jack Campbell, fucking, a couple weeks ago was a Vezina candidate, and a Hart candidate.
No, not a couple weeks ago now, but yeah,
you know what I mean. Like in recent weeks, we'll call it. But a couple of bad games, and all of a sudden, there's talk about the Leafs fucking trading to get a goalie before the deadline, and is he done and all this?
No.
Whereas if Draisaitl goes a couple games without scoring and then picks up a hat trick, like okay, nobody cares.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Well, that was a successful fill in the blank segment.
Oh yeah, always.
Love to hear it.
I got a couple of things from around the league I'd like to bring up.
Yeah, sure.
So Zdeno Chara now has the most games played by a defenseman in NHL history with 1,652. Like, and the thing is, like, he's not done. Like, he can comfortably probably play at this level in that, kind of bottom pairing role for at least a couple more years. You know, he's not had any major injuries recently. Like, I fucking hate him so much. Like, so much.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a monster, man, that guy. Yeah.
And then he'd be a fucking good pickup for a team looking to like shore up their defense for the playoffs. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if the Islanders are. No, the Islanders aren't really in it, Nah.
The Islanders are nowhere near in it. And I kind of like that shout. I would like to see that happen. The Leafs shore up their defensemen by picking up Zdeno Chara, even as just like a 7-8 guy, because like they know when you when you go on a cup run, you're probably going to use like 7, 8, 9, maybe to 10 defensemen over that.
Well, I mean, run. I'm trying to think. So the Habs last year, so outside the top four, we used Kulak, Romanov, Gustafsson, Merrill, and there's one more. There's one more I'm not going to remember.
That's fine.
But anyways, like that's what I mean. Like we rotated those four through the one bottom pairing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
you have, if the Leafs bring a guy like Chara to do that, Yeah,
exactly. Just cycle him in. He could do that for a cup contender.
Oh,
imagine him in Toronto or even freaking Calgary. Imagine him on like the back end of the Calgary.
Oh man, there's rumors that Calgary are going to try and get Giordano at the deadline. Bring
Yeah,
him
I
back.
saw that. That'd be an interesting one. That'd be an interesting one. Just and again, just a guy who you can cycle in your bottom pairing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you don't have to, he doesn't have to play 20 minutes a night. He can play fucking 6 minutes a night. Go out
Oh,
there,
I'm not a defender. He'll probably pay like 10, 12. Call it.
yeah. Go out there, beat the fuck out of guys in front of the net and just make life miserable for the opponents. Like,
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
those kind of guys would be perfect for that.
For sure.
And then also Rick Nash had his number retired by the Blue Jackets last night. Their first in franchise history. What a player.
There's nobody else.
What a player.
Yeah, and there's nobody else that's worth retiring in franchise history. So,
didn't Fedorov play for them?
Sergei Fedorov, yeah, but they're not going to retire his jersey. What was he there for a year?
Yeah, but he was fucking dope.
Yeah. Well, there's one other guy, and it's their goaltender. But his name is escaping me. The one who passed.
Oh, yeah.
Mattis Kivlenix.
Yeah,
Is that how you say it?
I'm not gonna. I know what you're talking. I can't pronounce it. I
think it's Mattis Kivlenix. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
that's it. That would be another one that I could see them retiring at some point.
Yeah, but Rick Nash, what the best power forward of that era.
Yeah, he was a machine. The hands of just butter.
But and the speed and the size. Like, I'm just thinking of all those individual goals. Like, I know there's one against, I think, Phoenix, and then there's one for Canada where he's got 3 guys literally on his back.
Draped on him, yeah.
And he's still fucking and doesn't just score, embarrasses the goalie.
Yeah, embarrasses the goalie and a forward and 2 defenders. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
outrageous.
Freak.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player.
Okay. Any other shouts from around the league you got?
Just actually a Greyhounds shout here. So I believe this was last week and I forgot to mention it. But the Flames signed Rory Cairns to an ELC, and the Seattle Kraken signed Ty Cartier to his ELC. So 2 Hounds hopefully making that jump soon.
That'd be cool to see. Love to see it. Yeah, I believe both those guys are overagers, so they'll probably end up playing, I would imagine, starting in the AHL and working their way up. That'd be great to see.
Karen's been on fire in the O recently. I don't have his stats up. I can try. We got him quick.
I believe he's last game I was at. I believe he was still leading the league in goals.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's got 33 goals and 55 assists for 88 points in 52 games.
So that's pretty solid.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm just watching golf. I just watched a guy put it right in the water. Tough sledding on a Sunday, pal. Anyway.
So what do the Leafs have lined up for this week?
What do we have lined up? So I know that we play tomorrow night. I forget. It is escaping me who it is. Columbus, maybe? Yes, tomorrow in Columbus. Then we play Seattle and Toronto the next day, so back-to-backers. And Thursday and Sunday. No Saturday game this week because the Sunday game is the outdoor game. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes, got it. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting stuff.
Habs have the Canucks on Wednesday, so a nice long break here. The Kraken on Saturday, and then the Flyers on Sunday. Nice.
The following week, the Leafs play the Stars, and then the Hurricanes, a game that I will be attending.
Hey. Where's your seat?
I think it's
nosebleed?
Third level or whatever.
Nosebleed?
Yeah, well, I'm not paying $600 for a ticket in the lower bowl, so yeah. No, I just upper bowl.
That's fair. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Habs game I went to, there was
the Airbnb and everything down there, so not trying to spend $600 on a ticket.
Habs game I went to, there was literally 1 row of seats between us and the fucking ceiling. So I mean, I get it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a pretty good view, and going with my girlfriend and my dad, so it should be a good time. Very excited.
Yeah, that'll be
very excited.
You said it's the Hurricanes game?
Yeah, the Canes game. It's the St. Patrick's Day game.
It's gonna be a banger.
I'm not sure if they're actually going to be wearing St. Patty's Day jerseys because they're wearing special jerseys 2 games before that. So I don't think they're actually going to produce them this year.
I mean, they can just wear the old ones, can't they?
Yeah, but I'm not sure that they will. They haven't put any up for sale that I've seen. They might have by now, like now that it's getting closer, but I was looking a couple weeks ago and I literally could find no St. Patty's Day jerseys. They haven't produced them since 2019. So, but I'd like to say, I was going to buy one, but now I'm not. I'm just going to wear a blue jersey.
Pussy.
I'm not trying. No, because that's, you know me. I bought a pair of sneakers to match with the jersey. The sneakers got canceled, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a different pair. And now I don't have sneakers to match the jersey, but I do have sneakers to match the blue jersey. So
yeah, fair.
That's
and you know me. I'm just a whore for buying jerseys, so I'm always gonna convince you to buy a jersey.
Yeah, I know. You're terrible. The one I wanted to get a Jason Spezza, number 19 St. Patty's Day jersey.
That'd have been filthy. You got to do it for the culture.
We'll see. We'll see if they have them at real stores, real sports while I'm down there. Anyway, so that's what we got lined up. The Habs, you mentioned a big break until Wednesday, you said?
Yeah, till Wednesday.
Honestly, in this economy, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Like when I was doing my notes last night and checking, I had to double check. I'm like, we have 4 days off. What?
Yeah, that's wild. That's absolutely wild.
So next week we talked about it. We're not going to spoil the surprise just yet. But we got something coming for next week for Big 50.
For the Big 50, the half a century mark.
I can't believe we've done this 49 times already.
I know, it's a little bit outrageous when you think about it. And actually we've done it 50 times because we did do a test episode too.
Oh yeah.
So
wild.
Wild that we're here. Wild that we've done it. We appreciate everybody listening as always. And we'll show you a little more appreciation next week.
Yeah. Because for our listeners, if you wanna get some questions in, some stuff you want to talk about for episode 50, hit us up. The DMs are always open on Instagram and Twitter. YouTube comments as well. We always read them. There's not many, but we read them. But yeah, check them out there. And we want to make episode 50 a big one. So
Yeah, we're really excited. We're really excited about it. We're best friends, and to be able to do this once a week, just get what we need to get off our chest about hockey. It's awesome for us because we used to just do it at work when we worked together. But yeah, thank you again for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next week for the Big 50.